Happy New Year's, ladies! Today I'm sharing what you need to know when staying at a luxury resort. What to wear, what not to wear, what's up with the concierge, what if I don't like my room, who do I tip, when do I tip, how much do I tip? I'm sharing it all with you. Whether you have never stayed at a 5-star luxury property or it's just been a hot minute, having an overview of what to do and what to expect can not only alleviate a lot of the pre-arrival anxiety, but it can really pave the way to helping your stay be a lot more relaxing and enjoyable. And I mean, that's really what it's all about, right? For the past 20 years or so, Oliver and I have been able to travel the world first class and stay at some of the most beautiful, luxurious resorts in the world. But listen, neither one of us grew up that way, so learning the way it works has been a series of trial and sometimes very embarrassing errors. I want to save you from that. Hit the easy button. Let's do it.
For you to blow.
Luxury living, whether you're traveling, dining, attending events, is fundamentally about courtesy, being respectful, and treating others the way you want to be treated. If you bear that basic tenet in mind, really the rest is just a little fine tuning, and that's what we're gonna do. Number one, who's the concierge and how do I use him? The concierge is a complimentary service that pretty much every hotel has. He or she acts as a liaison between the guest, the hotel, and the surrounding area. They can do all sorts of things. Restaurant reservations, organizing excursions, snagging tickets to difficult to get events. Anything that you need to make your stay more enjoyable, you're going to want to go to the concierge. Prior to your arrival, you can absolutely call the concierge directly and ask for recommendations of certain things to do and see in the area. Every hotel is going to have some sort of a PDF soft copy they can email so that you can look at your leisure. Remember that a well-connected concierge can open all kinds of doors for you in a big city. When my sister and I visited Amsterdam, and gosh, about 4 years ago, we stayed at the Dylan, the best boutique hotel that I've ever stayed at. We wanted to go to the Anne Frank house. Tickets were ridiculously difficult to get. We asked our concierge if he would get tickets for us. He said, let me see what I can do. The next day, we had 2 tickets in our hands. That is the value of a good concierge. Upon arriving, the valet is going to greet you. He'll ask, would you like help with your bags? The answer to that is always yes. Don't say no, we can get our bags ourselves and schlep bags through the lobby. Luxury travelers don't do that. The bellman will put all of your luggage onto the rolling luggage rack. You will then proceed to the front desk. But first, yes, you do tip the valet. We tip $5 to $10 because he's doing the coordination of the bellman and all that good stuff. Once you check into your suite, the bellman with your luggage will ask if you would like your luggage put on luggage racks. His job is to show you around the suite and to familiarize you with all of the basics of the room. The room safe, use of the electronics, the thermostat, where it is, how it works, and answer any questions that you may have about the property. You're going to tip the bellman about $5 per bag, more if you can, but you are at a luxury resort. Oliver and I usually tip like $20 for our 2 bags. It just kind of sets a nice tone. Side note, there will always be a room safe and you definitely want to use it, y'all. I had like $600 stolen from my wallet when we stayed at the Wynn in Las Vegas 10 years ago, and clearly I still haven't forgotten it. Use the room safe. In the room, although the amenities will vary from property to property, you will generally speaking be able to find 2 lovely plush spa robes, 2 pairs of slippers, a selection of toiletries, and of course a hair dryer. The toiletries are yours to keep. The spa robes are not. And besides, you don't want them anyway, they're used. If you love the spa robes, they always have them for purchase. Also, many of these fine hotels have very luxurious sheets, bedding, comforters, and pillows. They will normally offer them for purchase. Just ask your concierge. Oh, and have them shipped to your house. If you've forgotten a toothbrush, toothpaste, or a razor, don't hesitate to phone housekeeping. 9 times out of 10, they have it and they will bring it to you immediately. Ladies, this is more than a channel. This is a community. Come as you are, stay as long as you like. That is what we're all about. This is a respite from the outside world for women to come share, comment, connect, and just have fun and be entertained in a no judgy eyes environment. Join me in my living room every Tuesday and Friday to dish on all things style, wellness, and beauty. I would love to have you as a part of our community. What if I hate the room? Listen, it happens. Whether it's a weird layout, the view isn't what you were expecting, you wanted a higher floor, when you check into the room, now is the time to take care of it. First and foremost, be calm, be courteous, and be respectful. They have the power to either put you in another room or say, sorry, the inn's all full. Phone the front desk and use what I call the sandwich format. That's opening with a compliment, your ask in the middle, ending with a gratitude. And it goes into something like this. Good afternoon, this is Mrs. Pelly. We just checked into room 1820. The room is beautiful, compliment, but we were hoping for a city view and we're currently looking at the inner courtyard. That's my ask. If you have a city view available, we would greatly appreciate being moved. Gratitude. Unless the hotel is just absolutely sold out and there's nothing available, trust me, they will do their very, very best to accommodate you because they want you to be happy. My husband, Oliver, is the master of this. Honestly, he is like so authentically kind and courteous. You know, he's English, so he has kind of that English courtesy. Not only do they accommodate us, I can't tell you how many times we've been upgraded. Okay, housekeeping and turn down service. Here's a couple good tips that I have learned along the way. Unless we are expecting room service, I always keep the do not disturb light on for a couple reasons. Housekeeping will just come at random times and it might be inconvenient, but also we normally get a pretty large suite, and so you don't always hear the doorbell right away. When we're about to leave the room, I always call housekeeping and say, we are about to leave the room. We will be gone for an hour. Would you please send housekeeping up to clean the room? Same with turn down service. About turn down service, it will vary pretty greatly from hotel to hotel. I mean, we have had some ridiculously amazing turn down service experiences, and then I've had some where I'm like, what's that? At a bare minimum, this is generally what you can expect. They pick up the room, fold the towels, organize your toiletries, they empty the garbage cans, take away any room service plates or dishes. They'll turn the lights down, put some spa music on. Both sides of the bed and linens are turned back. 2 small bottles of water on either side, and usually a treat on either side, like a chocolate truffle, something along those lines. Please, thank you, and pardon me. It's treating others the way you want to be treated, whether it's other guests or whether it's the staff. If you accidentally bump into somebody, smile and say, pardon me. When the doorman holds the door open for you, look at him and say thank you or good evening. When the waiter asks if you'd like more water, say please. It's little things like that that make people feel good, and then it's reflected back on you. Seriously, you guys, I have literally had some people say, why do I need to say thank you? It's his job. Try being a decent person. Just saying. What do I wear? It's going to depend on where you're going in the world and of course the weather. You guys know this. Overall, think chic during the day, dressier at night. Here is what not to wear. Ritz jeans, and I would probably argue jeans at all. I'm pretty sure that's why we got stopped at the Ritz-Carlton in London. No cutoffs, cargo shorts, short shorts, baseball caps, t-shirts with prints and logos, dirty sneakers, flip-flops, probably sneakers at all, cheesy fanny packs, basically anything that you might see at Disneyland, and I love Disneyland, you don't want to wear. Think sleek, subtle, sophisticated. Okay, we're all friends here. I'm gonna share this with you. One time, Oliver and I were in London. We were staying at the Ritz-Carlton, and we're just walking through the lobby on our way up to the room, and all of a sudden, a porter came over to us and said, pardon me, may I help you with directions? That is British code for, perhaps sir and madame would like directions back to the Ramada Inn. That is why you don't wear jeans at a luxury resort. Most of the restaurants in these lavish resorts are very opulent and fancy. Of course, you're going to want to dress to kill. Gentlemen will generally be either required or, shall we say, strongly advised to wear a jacket. It's just proper. There will also be casual restaurants in the hotel for lunch and breakfast. What I've been asked is, well, do I really have to dress up to go to the casual restaurant? What if I want to head down to the spa? I don't want to have to dress up. I totally get it. There are a ton of really cozy, comfy, very chic looking loungewear coordinating 2 pieces that you can wear. Sweats or flip-flops? No, don't. Limit the selfies. Nobody's saying that you can't take pictures, but making a big production of running around the lobby, taking selfies, going, whoa, check this out, whoa, wow, wow. It just earmarks you in a way that you probably don't. It's not very sophisticated. It's kind of loud and obnoxious. Really what you're saying is, I never get a chance to do this, so I am going to take me a selfie. If you absolutely have to take a selfie, please just make it quick and unobtrusive. That's all I'm saying. It's just kind of seen as a little bit pedestrian. Just be cool about it. Keep your voice down. Luxury hotel settings require an extra level of decorum and sophistication. You ladies know that. Something as simple as controlling your voice can really speak volumes about you, no pun intended, in an instant. Calling attention to yourself by talking loudly, laughing loudly is really frowned upon. Other guests want to enjoy their time, and it's really disruptive because it invades their airspace. I mean, you guys know, who hasn't been out to a restaurant and you have a table of women next to you, and you know how sometimes when women have cocktails and they get that really high-pitched voice and it's annoying, don't be that person. Okay, property versus hotel. The various locations of a specific hotel are referred to as properties, not hotels. Let's say you're visiting the Ritz-Carlton in London and you're not wearing jeans like we were. The front desk might ask, is this your first time staying with us? You might say, yes, this is our first time in London. However, we stayed at your Hong Kong property last year and it was lovely. You wouldn't say, yes, our first time in London, but we stay at your other hotels all the time. It's just a slight nuance, but the fact that you refer to it as property alerts the front desk that this ain't your first rodeo. Okay, we all know that in the United States, not only is tipping appreciated, but honestly, every time you turn around, it's pretty much expected. Tipping will vary greatly when you're traveling internationally. Places like China and Japan, with the exception of Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, which have very heavy Western influences, tipping is actually considered rude. Simply check tipping protocol for that particular area. And finally, a quick recap of who to tip and how much. Valet, $2 to $5 per interaction. That means every time you get your car or deliver your car. The bellman, $5 per bag minimum. That goes for when he's putting you into your suite and when you have him come up to get your bags on departure. Housekeeping. Housekeeping is one of the most overlooked sectors, and you guys, those ladies work really hard, and that can't be a fun job. I'm always personally extra generous with housekeeping. At a fine luxury resort, a good minimum range is $5 to $10 per day. I leave a tip daily because you're probably getting a different housekeeper each day, and I want to make sure I am tipping the right person. Take a $5 or $10 bill, fold a little piece of paper over it, I write housekeeping, put it by my sink under a glass so it's very clear that it's for them. If the concierge was extra helpful, if he really jumped through a lot of hoops for you, anywhere from $20 to $40 is nice, more if you feel compelled or he did something really special. Okay, y'all, if you have any specific questions, this is a no judgy eyes community. Please ask below. I always read and I always answer. And until a couple of days from now, happy travels and happy New Year. Bye, y'all.
Tonight I'm gonna